So I was in bed the day of the New Year's Day, and I decided to treat myself to some entertainment. Make myself feel a little better. It was depressing knowing I wasn't recovering, and there seemed to be no end to my sickness. I sat there in bed and I decided to look at some videos of comedians. A week or so ago, I discovered this very talented and very personality rich comedian called Dana Gold. He is someone who's admirable in the sense he can find very clever things to say on the fly. He's a personification of someone who is intelligent. He has no end to the responses he can come up with. I was very impressed by this comedian who I discovered through the Green Room show. I started watching his videos while laying there in bed, and I enjoyed it very much, but unfortunately there is little material on him on YouTube. Again, I can't praise this guy enough. He is a very inspirational person. The way he delivers his material, it's very natural and conversational way. But eventually I ran out of his material to watch and I found this actor in the recommendation list of YouTube. I barely recognized from the old days in the 90s. He's a pudgy actor, and he's he didn't seem like he had much to offer, but I heard I watched his video, and I seen people praise him. It was another one of those the green room host who did an interview with him. I can't remember the green room's host's name. I think it's Paul Lenza or something like that. The comedian was Sam Kinison, and I watched this old 90s interview. I didn't find much in the interview, but I seen people praise him, so I investigated this comedian a bit more. Well, what I found, it was something else. I mean, this guy didn't give a shit what other people thought. And yeah, he was on the edge, all right. It's to enjoy comedy, you have to sometimes venture out to those who will show you who will exist on the boundaries or beyond the boundaries of the norms. It's the type of comedian that is not a bullshitter. He said it like he saw it, and his dialogues were profanity laced, and as raw as they come. Back then, things were very different than they are today. It was the prelude to this generation where sensitivities are on people's consciousness. Back then it was a very crude world, and one of the reasons there was this transition into giving people some protection, if you will, against offensive speech. The reason why this system of safety was developed was because the 90s were very harsh on people of all kinds. It was anyone who didn't fit a vision of norm was the target of harsh rebuke and ridicule and mockery was the subject. Was made to be the source of entertainment for other people, so you know what you should not be like. You try to avoid being giving the appearance of those people who are looked down at, because you would have been shamed and mocked to death. This included the gays and perverts, pedophiles, and handicapped, and socially awkward individuals, weak individuals, people were a proud species back then. They wanted to hooray the best attributes of mankind. And those attributes they didn't like. Those were the fodder for comedic material and like I said, ridicule. It was very harsh. You did not want to be on the wrong end of the stick. Because you would have been beat down. But with the intensity of it, also came passionate feelings, very experiences of precious emotions. It's something to believe in something to the extreme. To have your most your to have the sensations you would have when you believe something to be so true. Those extreme sensations, they were precious. It was an innocent time back then, but people got sick of the crudeness, including myself, and we all collectively rebelled against this sinking to the bottom, if you will, of who can offend the most, who can destroy the characters of others, and the most vicious and uncaring way. was that rebellion against that mindset that anything can go. It brought us here where there's things like gay rights and protections for the handicapped. A war against bullying. This place of safety where people can feel they can exist without harassment and disadvantage. At least on the societal realm. In the home, it's a different story. But in society, it has become society has become a safe place for people. Going back to the comedic aspect, I started watching Sam Kinnison's video. I ended up at one with he did a skit he did in living color. It that one resonated with me a lot. That's my family, and being portrayed in that skit, I related to everything that was being said. I understood where that was coming from. The material, the delivery of the actors, everything made sense about that skit. It was very personal to me, because that's how my parents are, and that's I just something when something that resonates so naturally with you, something you join so easily that's there's some satisfaction in it. It's like eating the perfect dessert. It provides so much pleasure. And that's the video of that skit with Sam Kinison and this other very good lady actress in living color actress. There was a good playlist of a combination of Sam Kinison videos and in living color videos. I ended up going through those videos and enjoying myself very much with a visceral experience. Watching the comedy videos, little videos, couple of minutes long each. I was just interested in Sam Kinison, but again, his videos ran out really quickly. Someone, you say to yourself, yes, that's what I want to say, or I would have liked to say. Who speaks the things you want to speak, just, if, not because you particularly believe in what he's saying, but because what he says is so damn interesting and sometimes very truthful, and things you want said sometimes. I eventually started watching in living color as well, because of the playlist, not because I sought to watch in living color. And I found I rediscovered the genius of that show. I mean, the writers, they had it together. They were very perceptive, and they're able to extract the suspicions that the what people can produce, the rumors people can perceive and things. They were able to do that very well and make exceptional comedy out of it. It was stuff that it's getting to people, getting to the translating the schoolyard mentality very successfully, that childish schoolyard mentality to the adult world. And they're very successful at making a translation from that mentality to the adult world. It's an exceptional production, very well filmed, very well written, intelligently thought out, and it's something again that would have resonated with me during my school years, grade school years. I understood the sketches very well, and to see them again was very satisfying. I am able to appreciate them to their full extent now. Such excellent production was something that could have existed in a particular window of time. I was able to think back of those days and the culture, those icons, and and the popular people that defined the 90s, the popular things, you get to see it through in living color. So, in a sense, a document of the 90s. The playlist I watched had particularly good clips of In Living Color. I won't say In Living Color was 100% comedic gold. It wasn't. The particular ones I liked were a lot of Jim Carrey, but he can't take all the credit. His maybe 30% Jim Carrey and 70% the other actors in Living Color. You know, I liked Jim Carrey's main sketches, like the ones where he plays characters from television or movies, or he made the ones where he parodies white rappers. Some of them are original productions. Like I found funny a few of them were the Bram Stoker Dracula parody, and the game show parody with Wanda. I particularly like the Wanda videos. I found them very hilarious. And the Pee Wee Herman, the Mr. Roger sketch, the one where he plays Karate Kid. And those ones where he mocks gay people, and also the ones where he plays bodybuilder female hero. I also like the Wanda videos and the Michael Jackson parodies, music video parodies. The thing about In Living Color is there's a genius behind it. There's well-rounded concepts behind it, behind the sketches. There's nothing really compares to it. I mean, SNL, everyone agrees, is the lamest show there is, and it's just a playground for actors with a continuous cast, regular cast for the actors to play with. There's it just made by actors on behalf of actors, and it's pretty much talentless. Whereas In Living Color is pure comedy. Then there's another show called Matt TV, which is on the end of the spectrum of the absurd, and I found no value in that show. It's mostly just crude insults. Just insults, delivering insults for the sake of delivering insults, and being irreverent for the sake of being irreverent. There was no comedic value in it whatsoever, I find. Matt TV is is just a vehicle for being as absurd as and disgusting as possibly can be. And I don't know why anyone would watch such dark and unpleasant material. What value there is in consuming Matt TV escapes me. And Living Color, on the other hand, there's a point to it. There's a set of a thing that can resonate with people, a configuration that resonates with the culture, but again, it started venturing out in the way of Map TV. That's when it stepped over the line and self-destructed. It was always trying to push the boundaries until or it lost sense of any boundaries. And the people, like they did with Matt TV, turned against In Living Color. A particular sketch that comes to mind. Now, it's not about being funny or not, but there are just some moral lines you should not cross. And Living Color dared to cross them, and it paid the price. One particular sketch is a parody of the Alive movie, where there's a plane crash and people had to start eating each other to survive. Now, In Living Color made a parody of that movie, and it was funny. It was no doubt about it. It's hard to contain your laughter, but the situation, which is happened in real life, there was nothing funny about that situation. Having making fun of that situation. Offended the sensibilities of many people. That's one of a few things. They also started slipping in irreverence in the sense of being offensive to God. Belittling the morality of Christians and their beliefs. It was very, very light, but you know, we Christians detect that irreverence. And we act against it. So that was the downfall of In Living Color, which possibly might be the best comedy show ever produced. Now, having had a blast in bed watching all these funny videos, I discovered my lungs were all cleared. This being a few hours or maybe half a day, 12 hours later. It was all gone. That despair, I would never have a clean system again, be free of the congestion in my lungs and my head. It was all cleared away. All that laughter, all that happiness, the videos and those comedy routines and by those legend comedians. And In Living Color, they had this very healing effect on me, and I got good. I recovered, and there's nothing like that sensation of being healthy again and having that power you used to have. Try it. Try watching funny videos when you're sick and see the healing power laughter has.